Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Twillow Stache edition of Twillow Talk. There we go. Hashtag Twillow Stache. Welcome, everyone. And it's always lovely to see you. Gerald?
It's great.
Those of you that don't know us, I'm Tanis Coughlin from Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. We are joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jurkofsky from My Holistic Self Counselling. And we have Gerald from Tarot Stache. Woohoo!
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
We are a week early because I am out of town and not available during our normal show. So cheers.
So we get him early.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Cheers on taking some time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I did that last week, but it was only 4 days.
Mm.
Hey, it was still 4 days.
Yeah. Yep. And I have a little bit more at the end of the month, so it's good.
Excellent.
How long are you off for?
I am just going out of town Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's the 4-day thing too. Cool. Mm-hmm. It's a theme. It's a 4-day theme.
It is.
Yeah. So
I did my 4 days together and took 8, but
that was probably wise. I need to plan my programs a little better this coming year, because I had programs every week now. So I'm teaching classes like almost every week. I don't think there's a week where I'm not. And so that's why shorter spurts this time.
Yes.
All good. So we might as well say hello to a few people that are coming in. We're happy to have you all. We've got Kaylee. Hello. She just finished with a Reiki client. Perfect timing. That's awesome. And we have Purple Moon Tarot. Greetings to you as well. And we have Get Through. Best wishes to all. And Tinita. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Yay.
So we usually start off with our forecasts. So let's talk energy. So first how are you doing, Jen? How's the energy?
It's been some wild energies.
It has.
Yeah, I don't know if you all are feeling it, but there's been a lot going on in the astral and other realms and dimensions. But because things are constantly thinning, we're feeling more and more of it here in physical. And so if you're feeling it, you are not alone.
Exactly. We're all in this together. So It's all good. Okay. And Gerald, how are you feeling with all of this?
I'm feeling okay. Things are just speeding up for me, and I've decided to jump on that energy and go, all right, that's what we're doing.
Beautiful.
Very good.
The transit.
That's the transit. Perfect. All right. So we'll get to that in just a sec. Let's look at the Schumann, because the Schumann was actually quite interesting over the weekend, which is where you're feeling a lot of this from. And then we will take a look at some of the other. So there we are there. We've got, you see this lovely little thing here? That was yesterday. Yep. Felt that. I did indeed. And this was an interesting pattern that happened the day before. I don't know if you guys watched this or not, but that was a very strange sort of intermittent kind of thing. Definitely some kind of download or something that we've been getting. And this was like a big flash. And if we look here, we actually didn't have a solar flare. And that's why I said a flash kind of thing, because it wasn't a solar flare. We've been pretty quiet here in the solar flare area, all in the seas. Unlike like last year where we were having a whole lot of stuff. The KP index, though, has been up in the yellow a couple of times with 5s or so. Now we have had KPs up in 8 and stuff recently, so this is still fairly moderate, but definitely something that you would feel in the energies. And so, Jen.
Yeah, so transits. We actually just switched, so between the 6-7, so just now, kind of switching into the gate 53. And so the gate 53 is the gate of development or the gate of beginnings. it's about transition and change. So, Gerald, to what you were talking about, there is an energy here that's going to help us to start new things and to move us in new directions and open space for that. So the Gene Keys energy of this is the shadow of immaturity that brings us to the Sid here, the enlightened state of superabundance through the gift of expansion. So it's all about being able to move from that immature energy to that expansion energy, right? And that allows us to hold space for that superabundance. So if you're feeling that pressure to start new things, it is a good time to do that. You want to be careful around the why, right? And making sure that you're not making it overly complex in the process. One of the interesting things about this energy is, some of them talk about like the karma that we have to work through and stuff like that. But but this one in particular is actually about the collective shadow and the collective shadow of immaturity and how that plays a role in how we choose to see ourselves. And so one of the things that Richard Rudd, who did the Gene Keys, talks about is the false cult of the individual, right? And this is about that separateness that we experience and how we can get very caught up in that separate energy and the way that can kind of dictate how we show up together. And so how can we move from that? A big piece of all of this, especially when we're looking at the gift of expansion, is how can we step into simplicity, right? And so we recognize this idea of cause and effect, and we know that there's certain things that have to happen in order for that expansion to take place. In that immaturity, we can sometimes layer on all kinds of things that are not necessary and that don't actually serve us. So how can we get to the simple complexity, right? Like being able to get into, can I just break this down enough to be able to really understand what is actually needed versus all the stuff that my mind is telling me is needed? And that can get in the way, because the victim state here is about the inability to complete, right? So it's development and we can begin stuff, but can we really have that follow through energy? And so if you find that you're in that kind of solemn place or you're getting a little fickle about what's happening, just know that that's the energy, and then break it down. Take some time, simplify, right? And when we get to that space, one of the things that I like is that Richard talks about this being the gate of evolving beyond evolution. Right? Where there isn't this need to constantly be doing this, that, or the other. We're actually holding space now just for what is possible. And that is that superabundance energy that can come through, because now anything is possible in front of us and we have the ability to move in that energy. So just, take some time, check in with yourself, see what action you're being called to make. And how can you just simplify that process and then open to what is there for you to help guide you forward?
So watch out for UFOs. Unfinished objects.
UFOs. I call them PhDs.
PhDs.
Partly half done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
It's half done.
Mm-hmm.
So let's watch out for our UFOs and PhDs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was like going, where is she going with this? That's why people are here. You're here to see where we're going with all of this. Because on Mondays, we have great conversations, and it's authentic conversations, and it can take us anywhere. Please keep your head and arms inside the ride at all times.
Yes.
We can't woo!
Well, sometimes we do that. I've seen us do that.
Yes, you can. There's an amusement park here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Kings Island, where they're telling people on certain rides to not scream because we have a lot of cicadas that are around.
Oh,
And so people can eat cicada unintentionally, So, by the way,
protein, I guess.
for entertainment purposes only, if you want to go on that ride and you want to open your mouth and scream, go for it.
Go for it. That's your choice.
That's your choice.
Perhaps not a wise one at the moment.
Wise, unwise, it's all just experience. Pick the experience you want to have.
Yeah, I'm with Hattie. Ew.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Kaylee. I know. Especially with this group, UFOs could be many things. Definitely.
Unfiltered observations. I mean, hey, it could be anything.
It could. We do get unfiltered observations here. We don't use filters very much.
What's interesting, you were talking about this transit, and this development and transition into a new direction, and the collective shadow being immaturity.
Mm-hmm.
Part of dealing with this is simplicity, not overcomplicating things. So when it comes to that shadow of immaturity, instead of what some of us might do is when things don't go our way, instead of arguing with it, step away and don't even pick up that rope of the argument. Walk away. That can be very simplistic. It's like, all right.
Absolutely.
So be it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the open to opportunity, though. Like being open to that opportunity and what was it exactly you said? Opportunity and anyway, she channels this a lot. So anyway, open to possibility. Open to possibility. Opportunity and possibility. I think that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you didn't say it, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I love. Go ahead, Gerald.
Nope, you first.
Okay, just that open to possibility piece, because it brings up something else too in this kind of shadow aspect. One of the things that Richard talks about is that kind of quote, begin as you mean to go on, right? So intention here is such an important piece. We look at it and we go, okay, what is the truth of this beginning? What is it that I actually want to bring forward? What is my goal here? So that we have a bit of a roadmap in terms of where is it that I even want to head. And sometimes it is a beautiful thing to just, it's going to unfold and it's going to be what it is, right? We get into creative works. And, I think some of the paintings that I've done, I had no idea how they were going to turn out in the end. And I love that. But the energy of this particular transit is about intention. And can I set an intention about how I want to move forward with this beginning, however I want that to manifest?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, intention is so strong.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why simplicity is such an important piece of it, because we can overcomplicate everything to the point of not being able to even get started. Because
that's that overwhelm.
Too much, in there. But if we're able to be clear with where we want to go.
I think he's calling you an overachiever.
I've never experienced that in my own life. I never overcomplicate things.
Me either.
All the time. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, Jennifer. Hypnicity said analysis paralysis. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Been there, done that. That's for sure.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jennifer.
That's okay.
Complicating it, but here's an important thing about this. The idea of this transit is about intention. if you understand your intention and you can state it succinctly, it's easier to align with your intention. Instead of, it's a paragraph of things. Instead of it being that, it being just a genuine and authentic, here's how I operate in the world. Before you make any decisions, does this match with that?
Yeah.
When you have razor sharp boundaries, it's easy to stick to them because they are razor sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could go about your one thing that's fun to do. So I did do this. I did it on, I used Chat GPT, and I went in just for fun. And I said, okay, so write me a mission statement, a vision statement, and my values. Some was accurate, some was not. You have to, of course, use your own discernment.
Cool.
But it was an interesting exercise because then I could look at it and say, oh, no, that's not right, or that is, but it gave you a place to start from. So it's kind of cool. Just use discernment. That's all.
Of course.
Yeah. But that's something you could do, write your own, we do it for our businesses, but we could do it for ourselves. What are our values? What's our vision? That's kind of like doing your vision board things, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is an important thing just to take time with it. And it sounds like this transit is could be a good opportunity to do it. Do you have to finish it? No. You just have to start it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Melanie. One day at a time works for me. If I don't accomplish everything today, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your mission statement? Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We
should say hello to a few people, maybe. We've got a lot of people on here.
Yay.
Yeah.
We can just say a quick hello to some of them here. We'll say hello to, we did those ones. Hello to Anshuman. And had enough. And Marita. Hey.
Marita.
And thank you, Kaylee, for helping let Tanita know that we're not doing readings today. And you know what, Melanie, I'm with you. I've been there. That's my weekend. That's why the Schumann was interesting for me when I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Who else have we got going on here? We've got some other people that have come in later. So there's Eva.
Congratulations,
and
Eva.
we want to do congratulations. Definitely. That's wonderful news. And we have a lot of conversation going on here, which is fantastic. Best chatters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got. And we have Kiba. Best chatters, best work lurkers.
And future
lurkers. There we go. Awesome. There we go. So welcome everybody and all those people that have not made a comment yet. So we welcome you all to the show as well.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever though started something and then been like, yeah, no, that's not where I'm going. We want to have a clear intention, but then we get the intention set and we're like, nope. I'm changing that now. That's not what I want to intend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's called paying attention, noticing, growing, evolving. Because if you decide you're going to a certain spot and along the trip you go, maybe not there, and you're missing all the signs. Healthy businesses, healthy people understand their purpose and their mission so they can make these decisions as they're moving forward. So.
Yeah, because we're never the same person 2 days in a row, right? We learn stuff.
Correct.
So as we learn stuff, we may want to change where we're going or how we're going there or whatever that is.
Absolutely.
Because we're paying attention and we're learning things.
In this transit, it fits so well too with that idea of evolution, because it's talking about how when we evolve, so in scientific terms, there's the complexity theory, right? So that as things evolve, they're continually building and growing and becoming more complex. And yet there's a simplicity in that if we don't try to have the mind have to figure out all the bits and pieces, if we can allow that to flow, there's a value to be found in it. And so we actually have capacity within us to sit back and realize that that complexity, if we're not trying to figure out all the nuances, can help us with that efficiency and effectiveness in where it is we want to go and what we want to do in our experience. And that's the piece of keeping it simple. But in that place of expansion, we realize that, we might get into this place where our mind says we have to do something. And then we realize that that's not actually even what we want or the direction that we want to go in. And so being able to make that shift, to be able to kind of check it and go, hey, wait a minute. Is this really what I want? Or is there something else here that resonates for me more? And then to pivot with that is such a beautiful piece in terms of our ability to expand, because we're not blocking ourselves in to this one way of how we have to be.
Yeah. So we're always changing and growing. It's good to learn from each other. Great advice, Gerald. Your life experiences is greatly appreciated. I found my path has unforeseen branches built into it. It's up to me to decide what to be distracted by.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. We are thankful for you as well, Purple Moon Tarot. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We did have some news this week.
Some
news. A certain author in our midst made she made first in 3 categories on Amazon for her book, right? She made number 1 in inspirational books, number 1 in personal transformation ebooks, and number 1 in science and religion for spheres of consciousness.
Yes.
Jenny!
Happened.
Jenny!
Thank you. Yeah.
So congratulations.
That was very exciting. I had not anticipated that to happen. But very, very grateful for the support and everybody who grabbed a copy of the book. I was blown away when I checked in and went,
What?
I mean, it didn't stay there. It didn't become bestseller, which is totally fine. I hadn't anticipated it even to get into the top 100, let alone the, top 10, let alone to hit number 1. So I was like, wow, okay, universe, thank you. That's enough to say, like, keep going.
I like that.
Kaylee wants her signed copy.
Yes.
Well, and this is that thing. It is part of our experience. It is important for us to keep track of our experience, make a note of that, use it to propel us forward. If in a year and a half you're still talking about, last year I did this. So I think it's great to be able to see that. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Well, I remember being on here with a certain somebody who kept holding up, write the book. And since then, several have been written. So
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
We've both been busy writing. I've got 2 books
Nice.
started. So, and you were working on one too, weren't you, Gerald?
What?
Weren't you working on a book?
You really shouldn't mumble when you talk. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
No, I am not currently writing a book.
I thought you were looking at that. You were going to do something on the color.
I'm not currently writing anything.
Oh, well, apparently they want you to.
Well, have them send me the outline and do all of that. We can
Okay.
discuss it. Have their people call my people.
Okay,
discuss
we'll
it.
do. Did you get that? Okay.
I just download it. It just happens like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's,
Well,
how it was with spheres of consciousness. It was just this moment of this needs to happen. This shift in consciousness, this shift in understanding about our evolutionary journey has to happen because too much is not correct in the way that things are being taught about the spiritual journey. So much so that this is why we have spiritual bypassing and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to change the perception around what it is to be on a spiritual journey so that people can actually hold space for all of the dense stuff, all of the difficult things, because that is all part of the journey and we're not meant to negate that or walk away from it. And, you know, these things are coming in because the world is at a place now where it needs to be able to know that and hold space for that so that we can continue this shift, right? We talk about that 3rd dimension to 5th dimensional shift that's happening. It's consciousness that's happening. It's not in the physical. It's in the consciousness that we're making the shift. And so being able to shift those perceptions are going to be key. And same to what you're doing, Tanis, with the books that are being brought through for you. It's about being able to shift that and notice where we're coming from.
Yeah, they've been, I mean, the ones for me, they've been hand in hand, the books that have been coming through for us, because the one they're pushing me, I get this big download about it last week, I guess. I read a little piece of it last week about lead with love and let love lead you. And that's going to be like a big theme. And not just in our personal lives, but in how we go about our lives in the world and interaction, work, and hopefully politics, if we can, you know, I don't want to step there, but, you know, that's kind of part of it. Yeah. So. Awesome.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
I'll add that in my chat.
There you go.
Perfect. The link is in the chats there.
It's interesting. It says to all, but it only goes to some. So thank you, Gerald, for putting it out there as well. Yeah, the book is a book and a journal. And it really is about walking you through the different spheres and being able to hold space for that dense energy and know how to meet it with all of the other energy as well, right? So we can hold fear with love and we can hold grief with joy. And it's actually possible to hold all of these different frequencies within us at the same time.
And I found that incredibly liberating. You know, people would ask me how I'm feeling and I'm like, well, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling love, I'm feeling gratitude, I'm feeling sadness, I'm feeling grief, I'm feeling happy. And they're like, yeah, but how are you feeling? I'm like, that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Right? It's those different aspects of self that are all feeling different things.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it's such a, you know, timing wise, again, I think that this idea of development and transition and change, having it come out, you know, just as we're going into this transit too, can be very powerful because that ability to hold space for us to do something different and to set that intention And as we set that intention, right, how you begin is how you continue. So if I go, okay, I want to actually look at what is going on inside of me with these denser energies, and how do I want to bring space to them, right? Then here's a tool, an option for how to work with that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for people to give themselves options. I'm going to go back to this transit. The idea of, to simplify, you do not have to just leave everything that you have in order to simplify. You can consciously set the intention of how you are going to simplify, what things, and it's not just physical things, it's the emotional, the spiritual, the metaphysical stuff. It's the clutter. Clutter exists in multiple dimensions. Remove those things that don't work for you because they're sucking your energy away.
Mm-hmm. Well, just because the mind thinks it's complex doesn't mean it actually is.
Correct.
Right?
But that sounds like something you'd hear in human design.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, there is simplicity and complexity, and one of the quotes from the book actually talks about how we are meant to harmonize all of the frequencies within us. We're not meant to have just one. So we think simplicity, okay, simplicity is that ladder model of I can't have fear, I need to have joy and love and, hope and gratitude. And those are the ones I have to have. And so that's the simplistic, really, way of looking at it. But when we recognize that in that evolutionary process, the complexity of holding all of them together, even though the mind goes, ooh, I don't know, that's a lot, there's actually more simplicity in that because it's about flow and process and holding space for what is meant to unfold within us.
Mm-hmm.
They were showing me this card and this other one. Simplify your life.
Mm-hmm.
I cherish the simple pleasures in life. And they were showing me this one, renewing your life. And it's getting rid of clutter. The guy's pushing the box clutter off there. It brought those to mind. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Anyway, I had to pull them out because they were showing them. I can't just project it, so I had to pull out the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say we can't project it yet.
Hmm.
I think that will be something we'll, maybe not in our lifetime, but soon.
Soon is a relative term. What?
Right? Mind meld.
I'll be able to send it out like this. See the card? You won't have to listen to us anymore. We'll just send it out telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to come and listen, though, because we like having all your comments and
Mm-hmm.
sharing energy with you all.
Yes.
So how are you guys going to simplify your life in the audience?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys can say too. What do you need
to simplify?
Yes. What do you want to simplify?
And what do you want to begin? What do you want to open to? This is the energy of development, of beginnings, right? Transition and change. So what is it that you want to hold space for and say, okay, universe, I'm open. I want intention to move towards this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Purple Moon Tarot says it's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because lots of little things end up making big things.
Mm-hmm.
Begin as you mean to go on. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you really simplify it down, that right there is the simplest way to determine, like, what do I want? I want to begin as I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did Kaylee say? Taking some time away.
Oh.
Says in the new year to actually
Ingrain.
ingrain what I've learned. Hopefully it will
Yeah.
help me figure out the next steps at some point. That's
Mhm.
lovely.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
Ah. Melanie says she wants to let go of her monkey mind.
Mm.
Okay,
Yes.
Nalani, I'm gonna. As someone who has monkey mind, look at me. I'm pointing. As somebody who has monkey mind, Nalani, why don't you, instead of letting it go, okay, here, wait a minute. You all know what I'm going to say. This is for entertainment purposes only. Don't do anything based upon what I say. Instead of letting go of your monkey mind, why don't you invite it in, sit it down for a cup of tea and say, what do you have to tell me? And you've got until I finish this tea. And then it's time for you to move on. I've got some other things to do. And then listen to it fully, completely. Then go, all right, thanks. I hear you. I hear you. I've written that all down. Thank you. All right, bye.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Play, love, remember, just liking opening a door, which leads us to so much more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello, Andrew. Welcome. Hello, Mr. Big Daddy G Stache.
Oh, I've never been called that before. I've never heard that before.
There you go.
I love that. It's like Mr. Big Daddy G Stache, That's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And in hypnicity, Nalani, that was something that helped me when I first started to try to meditate. The suggestion that somebody gave in a class that I was leading, especially because their mind would go crazy, their monkey mind. What they did was they saw their monkey mind or their mind as an individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
They sat it down in the corner with a math book so that it could keep itself occupied while the rest of them did their meditation.
Beautiful.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
So the visuals are interesting. You can, and I've also heard Robin from Toadstool Tarot talked about think of these thoughts as if you're sitting on a park bench and you're having a cup of coffee and you're watching people walk by. Let them walk by. These are the thoughts that are in your mind. Just notice them, let them move on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Singing is a form of meditation also.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Brings in the healing of music as well.
Yes.
And there are some beautiful tools for that, for the monkey mind piece, right? And being able to notice the thoughts. And in acceptance and commitment therapy, one of the things that we talk about is leaves on a stream. And you can find the meditation for leaves on a stream online. And it is this moment of sitting back, visualizing yourself next to a stream. There's a beautiful tree hanging over the stream and the leaves are falling into it. And every time you have a thought, I'm not going to worry about what it is. I'm just going to go, oh, there's the thought again. Put it on the leaf. Let it go. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's that thought. Put it on a leaf. And it's about noticing and just noticing what the mind is doing. Gerald, as you said, paying attention for a moment. What is it that the monkey mind is trying to do?
Yeah.
Right. But just holding space for that observation part of it can help us to have more insight into, one, what it's trying to do, but also, two, how to navigate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I've been playing Let There Be Peace on Earth on my piano at least once a day.
Oh,
lovely.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, yes, this would be funny if we wrote down every thought that we had. Definitely. Well, I like this idea, bubble bath.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we want to start?
A bubble bath. That could be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's a matter of where I start is where I keep going, where I continue. I would like to start with bubble baths.
Yep.
They're worth continuing.
Yep.
Well, that idea of writing everything down, that is part of the technique in David Allen's Getting Things Done, to where you put everything down that you've been thinking about, you get it down, one piece of paper each, then you collect it, you gather it, because then you can sort.
Yeah. Important
Sorting allows
sometimes.
It's a different process. So once you get it all out of your brain, it's how about that? You get all of that out, then your brain is able to approach things simply.
Yeah.
You've just simplified everything that's going on. So,
The brain dump. I think that's what he calls it, right?
Yeah. Brain dump, data dump. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely was using some of those techniques when I was in management, because of course the to-do list was huge. So
yes.
Yeah. Kaylee likes music and sound healing. Playing her drum and chimes is enough to quiet her mind. I agree.
Nice.
I feel that way about my crystal bowls. Yeah. Very good. This helps her to multitask.
That seems almost like
Well, I don't, yes and no, because so when I'm writing manuals, I have my solfeggio frequencies on.
Yeah.
Because even though it's relaxing, it helps to put me in the flow, and so things come easier. So that may be sort of what she's saying.
But then you're focused, right?
Yes, it helps me to focus.
Focus.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, because I find that too with writing. I've had the music on, and that is very lovely, but it keeps me very focused. I don't feel in that moment I'm, doing a whole bunch of things. It's like, I'm right here.
Yes.
It's creating the environment that is beneficial for you to do your writing and your channeled work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what Terry says there.
Yeah, which could also be a way you're dealing with your monkey mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's what she says, right? Well, monkey mind is occupied, which lets the rest of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. I'm not even going to try that today.
Pat your head and rub your tummy.
Not today. Not today, thank you. Maybe tomorrow.
What did we decide?
Oh, 1 second. Let me mute.
I love it. Talk about
we have a visitor.
Yes.
She's a visitor, so yes.
It happens sometimes. Dogs or somebody.
Yep. We are live. It is what happens, for sure.
That's what happens when the door's left open, but I like having it open sometimes.
Look at you. He can do it with his tiny hands even. Look at you.
I don't know. I was trying to occupy, while Jennifer was doing stuff. But.
We should make you big on the show, right? This is like I'd say halftime, but we're past halftime.
Goodness gracious. I still love this idea of this transit with all of the energy. We talked about that in the beginning. There's so much energy going on. People process energy differently. Sometimes energy, when we have these spikes, we suddenly go, ooh, I need to do this. Follow that. Pay attention to that. Notice, does this line up with my purpose? Because that's part of living and evolving.
Yeah.
Because again, the shadow of immaturity, sometimes when we are feeling immature, we need other people's help to help us process this.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means. I'm a huge supporter of getting professional assistance when you're overwhelmed, you can't stop. Partners, friends, they're really, really beautiful with that. You can do a tarot reading just to help you focus on it. You have your own tools.
Yeah.
I encourage people to honor the tools that they already have in their toolbox. Don't ignore them.
Yeah.
Pick one of them up. See what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. Because there, a victim, you were talked about the victim aspect of this is the inability to complete.
Yeah.
Nobody likes, well, I don't like unfinished projects because it takes a lot of my energy away. So instead of completing a project sometimes is, I'm not doing this. It's time to stop this. I'm not doing this project. Therefore, I can do something else with that energy.
Yeah.
This is no longer fulfilling me. It was great while it lasted. It's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Because we were different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And that happens.
Yeah. And ask your guides, your spirit team, your angels, your deities. Prayer is a great way to do that. Meditation. Simplify. Turn down the noise that is around us so we can hear ourselves. I mean, for me, it's a big deal right now. People have a lot of fans going on in their environments because we're in the summer. It's the summer of 2025. It's toasty. I go over to somebody's house to help him out. He has an air conditioner going. He has 3 fans going. That is so much white noise for me.
That's overstimulating.
It's overwhelming for me. So I get close. So know what it is that you need. And you don't have to turn all the fans off. And part of simplifying is going, I'm not sitting right next to the air conditioner. I'm going to move over closer so I can hear what you're saying.
Yes. Indeed.
Boy, I just sort of went off on a lecture there. There we go.
That's all right. I love that you mentioned talking to others, Gerald. As a projector, I need to talk to others to process things most of the time. Yes.
Kaylee, I think it's great.
Yep.
If you know you need people just to listen and you're not trying to problem solve, what was really helpful for me 15 years ago in my therapy was learning that I needed to express myself. I also needed to set the boundaries. Can you just listen to me ramble for 30 minutes, for an hour? I'm not trying to, just sit in the space with me while I ramble. And what's great is you'd be surprised at the number of people who said, of course.
Yeah, if you set a boundary like that too, that's great too. And then both people respect it and they know what to expect.
Yes.
Right? Play, love, remember. I love the Stargate behind you. I assume you're speaking about the pyramid. It's my copper pyramid. So I do crystal baths in there. I have a mattress actually on the floor, and we have large crystals around it, and people lay in there for crystal bath. So, but it does help to take you there. To do the spiritual journeys, the Stargate journeys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Galactic shaman and all, I do that.
Galactic shaman and all.
And all, yeah. Kaylee's been in it, so.
It is lovely. Going back, Gerald, really quick to what you were saying too, in terms of that, like, difficulty to complete. This is where getting into the human design side of things can be really valuable, because if that 53 is activated for you and it's not something that you're generally used to having the energy for, you're going to feel that pressure to need to start things. But if you don't have that full channel that connects to the sacral, that gives you the energy to actually do it, you're going to maybe have some difficulty there, bringing it to completion. So you're going to feel this pressure, because this is in the root, the pressure to begin something, but you may not have that energy to complete it right now. And that's okay. Right. So giving yourself grace for that, because we might end up going, hey, like I have the 53 defined in my chart in a root center that is not defined. So I have this constant pressure to begin things, but I don't have the constant pressure in my root to actually do it. So there's this thought of always wanting to begin something and it's not connected. And I don't have that sacral energy. So it comes in spurts. So I have to honor that. I have to honor that. I have probably 20 books started.
Yeah.
I haven't completed them. And when I get into that transit that connects it and allows me to go to completion, then all of a sudden it's like it all comes together and it's fine and it's good. And then that's great. And then I move on. Right. And so I think that we do need to give ourselves that grace and compassion too, that we have this pressure here, but it's going to come in its own time. And it's going to be different for each of us how we feel this energy.
So do you remember if I have that in mind? Because I have that, I feel that a lot. There's all these ideas that come in all the time. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know which one to do first.
I can look.
This one. I don't need to look now, but it's an interesting thought. I need to.
Yeah, you actually have the 42, which is probably why we do things well together. The 42
okay.
is the other one. And I have the 53. And so together we have that.
Okay, perfect.
Because I'm looking at mine and I'm like, well, my, it's an open gate. It's not all of my stuff at the top, all of my stuff is there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jen and I, the reason we work well together is because we have something in each of them, right? We like complete each other. So
a lot of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Stargate meditations, yeah, they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do a fair bit of that we will be. We're building to it in the Galactic Shaman program. Mm-hmm. We've got a couple of months left, and that's what we're going to be doing, is that kind of travel, journeying.
Yeah, I have to say, I agree with you so much too, because part of the other book that's coming out, and I've officially decided I want it to come out August 8th, and that just makes so much sense because it's Lionsgate and it's all about my life as a Lyran, and there's so many reasons for that. But that ability to connect with that part of us and that part of the lives that we've had, because so many of us have had lives, and we talk past lives, really parallel lives, our ability to connect with that energy, because one of the big transmissions with this book that Tanis and I have talked about before is that because everything is so thin right now, there's certain lives that we're connecting to, and a lot of them seem to be those galactic ones that are coming through, because we're meant to bring that energy here for the next stages of our evolution.
Nice.
Yeah. Jen and I have talked about how we feel like we've got 1 foot in that lifetime and 1 foot in this one, and we're being called back and forth for those of you that haven't seen the other stuff. We feel like we're being called back and forth in meetings in the different lives. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we bring our human brains, like I did, and they were like, "Okay, get the other brain." Because I was like, "Okay, 1 minute."
I love that. That's the other brain.
We need the one that's got the information.
We need Pleiadian and you to show up. Can we do
this? So I'm like, okay, I'll go to bed. Bye. I'm good with that. I love my naps. Have I mentioned that?
I am a nap master.
I love my naps.
Yes. Naps are the thing for me. If I have had a really good reading, an amazing show, something with a lot of information, I know I need to go lay down, go to sleep, because then my brain shuts off. Then my body is able to deposit the information in the right place for storage, and I can access it later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost like we go to sleep to defrag.
Interesting. Right? Yeah. Well, I've been a Mac time. When you update something, you used to have to restart, download it and then restart.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And we are at 5-minute warning. We're at actually 4-minute warning. And I see Jennifer going. And by the way, this is a great opportunity to remind everyone to subscribe to all of the channels. Links are below. Show your support. Give a thumbs up. Make sure you're doing that. Share this video if something in there went, I know so-and-so would like that.
Yes.
I think that would be
very
wonderful
good.
for us. Thank you.
Absolutely. So we are going to do our card. We're still using Seeds from the Sacred Feminine, which is a beautiful deck to give us our home play. And
this is something for you guys to ponder for the week. And then when you come back next week, we'll give you more.
Do, don't do. It's about the experience you'll want to have.
We're not testing. There's no quiz.
Not going to ask you what you did with it, but
no, just a thought. Just put it out there.
But it's interesting. So the card I got is reuse something.
Oh,
right. And how fitting is that for this energy? Right. It's about beginning, about transition and change. What can we give new life to in our experience? So here we go.
Beautiful.
Do it this way so I can put my elbow down. Reuse something. It is time to remember the wisdom of your ancestors and look at wasteful habits, grandchild. Your ancestors wasted nothing and used every part of the animal for food, clothing, and tools. Your grandparents were also thrifty and made use of every jar and every piece of cloth, wire, and thread. They understood that Mother Earth could provide for all of their needs. They also knew that using her resources was a privilege. Are you caught up in this throwaway attitude? Your sacred feminine is calling you to stop and return to balance. Before you buy a new item, check the secondhand shops for a good used one. Look around your home and see what can be reused. Milk cartons can be the next spring planters. That oversized pickle jar can be made into a sprouting container. What creative things can you come up with that help reduce Mother Earth's burden? How can you help her generate new life? As you journey on this earth walk, remember that your ancestors' wisdom is inside you. Ask them to help you do your part in creating a cleaner world. And so it's a beautiful aspect in how we can help with Mother Earth, but it also, what comes to me is that ability to do that with ourselves, right? How can I go inside and recognize maybe these things that I've discarded of who I am and who I'm meant to be, and how can I bring that forward and give that new life? How can I maybe work with that shadow aspect or that monkey mind and go, okay, what is it that we need to do now in order to move this forward and have growth come from it?
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I just wrote down just like the idea of reusing something. Pay attention to the skills that you have. One of those skills, if used slightly differently or applied to this situation, could help you. It's not necessarily you have to learn something new. Mm-hmm. It's about, can I show up with a tool that I know, but use it in a different way? It's like, really, that's a powerful opportunity there, Jennifer. Thank you.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
So,
quick note about antique stuff. Please be sure that you're cleansing them. Just intend that you're clearing it. You don't know what other people's energy is.
Antique or not, anything used, anything you get from anywhere, and even things you get brand new. Like
you want to cleanse it. You have want to bring
Yeah.
somebody else's stuff into your environment.
Mhm. It's part of the fun of doing it, though, is cleaning it out and putting your own energy into stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Perfect.
So, Gerald, what have you got going on this week?
Tomorrow, I have a show I'm very excited about. It's a Laugh and Learn with Linda De Gonzalez. We are talking about creating a YouTube channel. These are some things that we've found in our research and our own personal experience. So if people are interested in that, we're looking forward to having the conversation. I have a back and forth with Jamie and Gerald also on Tuesday. Then I have a Laugh and Learn on Wednesday about gem water. Somebody you may know is going to be there. So looking forward to that. And then I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up the weekend too.
So like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. It's safe. Ring the bell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jen, how about you?
We have Galactic Gab coming up on Friday, I believe.
Yep, at 7:30 on Friday. Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. And I also have, there's a full moon. Yeah, full moon on Beyond Being Human.
Ah, nice.
On Wednesday at 7 p.m. There's a ceremony there that I'm doing just a little wee bit of. So welcome to check that out as well. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to a fun week with both of you and all of you in the audience. So come and join us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please do.
Please join us. It's always lovely to have you all here and connecting. And yeah, final thought, Gerald.
Simplify doesn't mean completely demolish everything. Pick one thing and simplify that and be okay with it. Because when you do that, you are returning the power of all of the other things to you. This is about you having your power.
Beautiful. Jen, final thought.
Don't be afraid to hold space for all the things. Mm-hmm. There can be simplicity in our own complexity.
Mm-hmm. Do the brain dump. Helps you organize. Mm-hmm. And don't get, freaked out about the UFOs, the unfinished objects. We all have them. All righty. So thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you back again next week for Twillow Talk and next month for Twillow Stache.
Yay.
Sending you tons of love, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.